So do you think it's that it's kind of like it's built in conceptually, like, well, we'll have this nice little free space where we can just express freely, and then when it really becomes real, then it will change over. There's sort of an unspoken agreement about that?
No, I think it's more like, some of you have heard me tell this, but let me tell it again because it's the most powerful way I know of making these complicated things clearer. It's about my son Brett and shoveling the walk for the woman on the corner was not able to walk, and so she was dependent on her car for mobility. Whenever it snowed, he would literally race down, run down to the corner. He would stop anything else he was doing and shovel the walk. At our house, we had a tiny little walkway. It got done after my getting after him and telling him that when you're a member of a family...
Oh, God.
How could I be so stupid, you're thinking? No. But you see, when you are defined as a husband, wife, son, you have certain commitments, obligations. And so now what otherwise is a memnoon, you turn into something ugly.
Okay. I grew up in almost next to you. Same weather. Mm-hmm. I did that for my mother at 9, and she wasn't disabled. Mm-hmm. Explain that.
Because hopefully you had a memnoon relationship with your mother, so you gave out of the joy of giving.
And I didn't get an allowance.
Yes, you gave out of the joy of giving. You did it for yourself, not for your mother.
I don't think I did it for myself.
As I'm defining it, you did it for self-full reasons. Actually, I don't think anybody ever does anything for other people, even the people who say they do. I don't believe any human being has ever done anything for somebody else.
She needed to have the car uncovered, the walk cleaned.
And you did it because it met a need of yours to do it, or you wouldn't have done it.
I don't see that.
I know you don't, but then we have a difference on that. I don't think any human being has ever done anything for another person.
Marshall, suppose someone does the fourth response, where they're saying, yeah, and you want to check it out, even though they sound like they're okay, but, how would
what you
respond?
Might want to do for a while is what Sam Williams did and some others did after hearing me say this. They made these little cards, which now they're being sold all over the world. I'm sure Sam never thought he was going to be the inventor of such a thing. He heard me say in a workshop, kind of joking, what you'd say to people while you are making conscious the different definition of love that Giraffe is based on compared to what many of us have been taught. This basic concept of memnoon. I've been getting it across to groups this way. Whenever you ask for anything from the people you're the closest with, give them a card, and on the card it says, please do as I requested. Only if you can do so with the joy of a little child feeding a hungry duck. Please do not do as I request. If there is any taint of fear of punishment if you don't mix in. Please do not do as I request to buy my love. That is, hoping that I will love you more if you do it. Please do not do as I request if you will feel guilty if you don't. Please do not do as I request if you will feel shame if I don't. And certainly do not do as I request out of any sense of duty or obligation. So I just threw that out as a joke once, and this guy came up and said, repeat that, Marshall, I want to remember that. I can see how much I'm stuck in all of my relationships and doing things for all of those reasons. So he made a little card with that on it. Now these cards are being made all over the world, translated into every language, and is a fun way to break out of this where you've had these other things mixed in. No matter what you ask for, you give it to the person and say, but before you do it, please read this. So you say at the dinner table, please pass the salt, but only after you... See, so you raise the consciousness of everybody. Let's only give out of memnoon energy. Life's too short to give out of any other energy. But it's a radical concept because for domination societies to work, you've got to have a few people dominate many. And then you've got to destroy the concept of Memnoon. That creates a revolution if people believe in that kind of giving. You have to get people to fear punishment and to do things out of reward. That's the only way you can dominate people.
I think I've done a number of things for other people, and I haven't
think,
been
as I'm
being
defining
needy.
it, I think you did it to meet your own need to give, which is one of the strongest needs that human beings have. According to Viktor Frankl in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, there's probably no stronger need that we have than to give out of Memnoon energy.
How does this sound? I did it because I loved her and I wanted to do it.
Then that's what I'm saying. You did it for yourself.
I did it for myself.
Yes. And then she doesn't have to pay for it. If you did it for her, she'd have to pay for it.
She never paid for it.
Then you did it for yourself. If you did it for yourself, she doesn't have to pay for it. Anything we do for others, we think we do for others, they have to pay for it. And if they saw how they had to pay for it, they would get one of these cards to give you very quickly. Please, no more of this. It's too costly. Please, 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 don't give it unless you're doing it for yourself, out of Memnoon consciousness.
But can that be a natural thing, though?
I think it is natural until we've been educated. I think if we weren't educated in the way that I was, I think it would have been a natural.